All right, let's dive right into this explainer. The source material we're looking at today breaks down the systemic traps keeping so many people stuck in that endless paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. It's really fascinating because it outlines a blueprint for building lasting wealth that literally anyone can start exploring today. Look, we all want financial freedom, right? But there is this massive, glaring disconnect between wanting it and actually achieving it. So let's pull back the curtain on the mechanics of why people struggle financially, and more importantly, uncover the exact framework these sources suggest you can implement right now to change your trajectory.
95%. Let that staggering number sink in for a second. 95%. That represents the amount of people who will go their entire lives without building real lasting wealth. And here is the harshest reality that the data points out. Almost everyone in that group assumes it won't happen to them. They think, that's wild, but that definitely isn't going to be me. But the truth is, most of the people who end up broke said that exact same thing at some point in their lives.
So we really have to ask ourselves, what's actually going on here? Why is the failure rate so incredibly high? Because contrary to popular belief, it isn't just about having bad luck. It's not just the macroeconomic environment or inflation, and the research shows it certainly isn't just because wealthy people are born with a silver spoon while the rest of us are left grinding for nothing. It's actually not even close to that. The real reason is so much simpler, and the great news found in this research is that it points to totally actionable ways to break the cycle.
Section 1. The system keeping you broke. Staying broke is actually a deeply ingrained system, often called the rat race. Just think about the standard cycle for a second. You wake up, you grind at your job, you finally get that hard-earned paycheck, and then boom, it instantly vanishes to rent, food, and forgotten subscriptions. The root of the problem keeping people in that loop is a complete and total lack of financial education. I mean, we all spent years learning the Pythagorean theorem and the water cycle in school, but when it came to compound interest or the difference between an asset and a liability, complete silence, crickets. This massive gap in our basic education is exactly what's costing millions of people their financial futures.
Section 2. 3 wealth-killing traps. Because of that lack of education we just talked about, society naturally falls into 3 distinct psychological pitfalls. Trap number 1 is lifestyle inflation. This happens every single time your income goes up. Say you get a raise at work, or maybe your side hustle finally starts taking off, or you get an end-of-year bonus. What usually happens? Your spending goes up right along with it. You upgrade to a nicer apartment, or you start eating out at way more expensive restaurants. But according to the blueprint we're reviewing, the move that actually builds wealth is to keep your expenses exactly the same when your income increases and invest the difference. That growing gap between what you earn and what you spend, that's where real wealth is born.
Trap number 2 is letting your money sit idle, just doing absolutely nothing to grow. A lot of people think that simply saving money is enough, but wealthy people, they don't just save their money, they put it to work. They use vehicles that actually build serious wealth over time, like index funds, stocks, and real estate. Now, it's a super common misconception that you need to be some sort of Wall Street expert to start investing. The sources emphasize that you really just need to start. Even if you're only working with $50 a month, that money compounds into something incredibly real over time. Think about it like this. If your cash is just sitting in a regular checking or savings account, it's earning what? Basically 0% interest? And here's the really harsh reality outlined in the data. If your money is just sitting there doing nothing, you are actively losing purchasing power. Why? Because inflation is out there literally eating your money alive. Every single year. The balance in your account might look exactly the same on a screen, but what those dollars can actually buy in the real world is shrinking every single day.
Trap number 3 is living entirely for right now. Instant gratification. And honestly, this one hits particularly hard because we live in a world that is literally engineered to make you spend your money immediately. Between one-click checkouts, those sneaky buy now, pay later schemes, and a 24/7 feed of other people flexing their lifestyles on social media, it's all perfectly designed to drain your wallet before you even realize what happened. It keeps your brain focused entirely on the immediate dopamine hit of right now, instead of the security of your future.
To put it really simply, the wealthy play chess while everyone else is playing checkers. They actively delay gratification. Notice this massive mindset shift. Instead of waking up and asking, "What can I buy today?" individuals who build wealth ask, "What can I build that pays me forever?" That shift in your mindset, focusing on building an asset rather than just buying another liability, is the entire game. Once you flip that switch in your brain, your daily financial decisions completely transform.
Section 3. The 3-step wealth fix.
Okay, so we know the traps. The sources also outline exactly how to start dismantling this broke system using a really simple, immediate 3-step framework. And the best part? It doesn't require a massive 6-figure salary or an advanced finance degree. It just requires intention and action. Let's break these down one by one.
Step 1 is absolutely critical. Pay yourself first. Before you pay anyone else, before you pay the electric bill, before you make a grocery run, you need to set aside at least 20% of whatever you make into savings or investments. The real secret the data highlights here is automation. Do not rely on your own willpower at the end of the month, because trust me, the money will magically disappear. Set it up so that money moves automatically. Treat it like it absolutely doesn't exist, and you'll naturally adapt to living on the remaining 80%.
For step 2, you need to plug the leaks. And I mean this quite literally. Pull up your bank statements and look at what you are actually spending your money on. You've got to be ruthless here. Do you have a streaming subscription you completely forgot about? Cancel it right now. Are you eating out 5 times a week? Cut that in half immediately. It's an old saying, but it is so incredibly accurate. Small leaks sink big ships. Those little $5 and $10 daily charges might not feel like a big deal in the moment, but they're secretly draining your wealth-building potential dry.
Step 3 is to get educated and stay educated. You have to continuously stack up your financial knowledge. Utilize resources like books, podcasts, and financial explainers just like this one to really understand how money works. Because the more financial knowledge you acquire, the better decisions you'll start making automatically. It just becomes second nature. The recurring theme across all this material is that knowledge is genuinely the highest return on investment you will ever make in your entire life. Section 4. Discipline is the real currency. Ultimately, when you step back and look at the big picture, drawn from these sources, building wealth isn't about getting lucky or hoping for some random windfall. It's about making smarter, more calculated decisions consistently every single day, even when it's incredibly hard and you'd honestly rather just click buy now. That brings us to this core, essential idea. Discipline is the real currency. Money comes and goes, but the habit of discipline is what actually captures that money and makes it grow. The more discipline you build into your daily routine, the richer your future becomes.
So the real question isn't just whether you earn enough to be wealthy, it's whether you have the discipline to keep and grow what you earn. I'm curious, which of those 3 traps, lifestyle inflation, idle money, or instant gratification, is secretly stealing your future right now? Be totally honest with yourself and drop a comment below. Acknowledging your biggest hurdle really is the first step to jumping over it. And hey, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer, where we're going to be breaking down the 50-30-20 budget rule, which is basically the absolute simplest system to stop living paycheck to paycheck for good. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.